Hello everybody, and welcome to this special reading for the full moon that will take place on February 19th. So this reading applies for all of the week of February 17th, 2019. And we have a few energies that we're working with in addition to the full moon in Virgo. On the 18th, so on Monday, we have both Chiron, the wounded healer, moving into Aries, which, as I've been saying for a while, when I tap into that energy, Chiron, this misnomer of the cosmos, some people don't know if it's a minor planet or an asteroid or what the heck it is, but it appears in everybody's astrological chart, and it's my favorite sort of energy of the chart. Because I feel with this move into Aries, which only happens every 50 to 51 years, this is an empowerment time. Chiron is tired of being known as the wounded healer. Instead, it is the empowered healer. There's a new fire being lit up within us for the next 50 to 51 years of our lives. And for many of us, many of those listening, you may only see this once in your lifetime, depending on when you're listening to this. So it's a time of empowerment, and the sun is moving into Pisces on the 18th. And so for me as a messenger, that's important because Pisces is probably my strongest energy. It's where my Mercury is, it's how I communicate, and how I access learning is through that Piscean channel, which is entirely intuitive, and it's about flow and really feeling into the depth of things, and really living moment to moment as to what feels right, and being able to shift gears if the desire comes up. And also I have my sun in Pisces in my chart and the north node of the moon, which is your great destiny in everybody's chart. I have all of that energy sitting in Pisces. So as a channel for these messages for you, this next month is going to be my prime time. This is when I probably will be delivering the best messages that I can all year long. So I say that just to entice you to tune in over the next 4 weeks. And we're starting off with a bang. So this full moon, that's the symbol we're going to work with for this week's reading, is happening at the very beginning of Virgo. Now Virgo is an earth sign, and it speaks to this part of us that is highly perfecting and loves lists and loves to complete stuff, and loves to be of service in our communities, in our families. It's about the doing and like, what can I do to help that person? It can be a very self-sacrificing kind of a sign, but it has this perfecting quality about it that is probably the most detailed sign of the zodiac. And as a reminder, it sits in the thread in astrology that I call your quest. So the full moon will be in the beginning of Virgo, and across the way at the other end of that thread is the sun in Pisces. And so the Virgo part of that thread speaks to your service within your life to others, whether it's your community, your family, your work, how you help others, and how you perfect and are a master craftsman in your own life. Meanwhile, Pisces on the other end of the thread is about how you bring service to your mythical self, to the broader collective, that there's way more going on here than just you helping out a neighbor who broke her leg, that we are all interconnected, and that maybe if you don't get over to your neighbors to deliver that chicken soup, that the neighbor then has to find his or her way to meet their own needs. And this, it's just another view on service, and how if we don't get to doing something, or if we feel like we don't have a pull to want to do something, You need to pay attention to that mythical, the Piscean energy that is giving you a vibration of, I'm not sure I should be doing this. Because as I was talking about with a dear friend of mine just recently, either are we the ones fishing for other people, or are we teaching other people to fish? And it's not to say, of course, there's value, and I'm wholeheartedly in favor of helping people. I wouldn't do as many free things in my business if I didn't want to help people. I'm very generous in that regard, and as are all of you in what you do in service on this planet. But I guess my point is, and especially with the Chiron energy that I mentioned, is to not put yourself, not to be self-deprecating if you don't either get to doing something in order to help somebody else, or you push yourself to really go over the top and be so perfectionist and so hard driving that you feel a sense of woundedness. In the end, we are the ones that hurt ourselves in that regard. So I feel this caution, or that the message of the full moon is really to take a look at this thread that we're pulling on one end or the other all the time. And if you are feeling like you are really, really in this mode of perfecting so much about your life, and you just ask yourself, am I a perfectionist about a certain part of my life where I really want to get the details right? I really want to tackle that to-do list, all of these kinds of things. You're really hard driving on yourself that in order to give service to other people. If you're doing that, it might be time to pull on the other end of the string, which is the Piscean end, because that's how these threads can help you out. So what that means is tuning into, but do I feel like I truly want to do this? Like that it will help that person, but it will also make me feel good, that this is a service that feels right to me, and that I feel qualified to do it, and that I'm not sacrificing other things in my life in order to put that person or that cause or whatever first. That's a big question, and that's tuning into this more cosmic kind of energy. And it's all to become more empowered for ourselves. Again, Chiron moving into Aries. We really do hurt ourselves when we are ultra perfectionist and we drive so hard to be of service to others that oftentimes we are the ones that lose out. And we are the ones that feel like we didn't complete as much as we wanted to, or we're so behind, or this person or that person is going to be so disappointed in us. That's where the Piscean energy, that other end of the thread, wants to help you out with this full moon. And so the symbol for the full moon is Virgo 1. In a portrait, the significant features of a man's head are artistically emphasized. So in essence, this is referring to a caricature of a man. And when men or women are discussed in the symbols, or children, in the case of a man's head, this is about your masculine nature, which we all have, this driving part of you to get stuff done. And that I have to do this. And it's a push energy. Okay, that's the masculine. And it's out of balance. So I ask you, with the full moon, take a look at where in your life are you feeling imbalance, in a need to push, to make things happen, to have answers, to want to help so desperately, maybe a cause or a person or whatever, a family, a person at your work, to want to help so much that you're pushing to get your point across. The full moon illuminates this, and it's in the form of a caricature. So it tells me that that part of ourselves is out of balance. It's blown up like a balloon right now, and it's from the out exterior looking at it. If your higher self was looking at it, and not that higher self judges like this, but it's almost laughable how much you will self-sacrifice in order to be of service to others, or in service in your job, or those kinds of things. How hard are you pushing? And how much are you grinding to become a perfectionist, a master in something? Are you pushing to make that happen versus the comfortable flow that Pisces offers from your sort of mythical self that says, yeah, I have the mastery and it comes out at just the right times and I don't have to push it. It simply is there for me. So I feel this call towards a gentleness this week, okay? So working with that thread of our quest, that is what is in the forefront. Push versus flow. And the key is to take out the verses. The key is to allow yourself to be, sometimes we push ahead, but then to allow the flow when the push becomes, there's so much resistance that we end up grinding against ourselves. It's like you're pushing forward and the energy is now kicking back at you and taking chunks out of your mental stability, your emotional stability, your physical stability. Because we are talking earth here with Virgo, stability. Being really, really good at something. Enough so that you're like, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. I totally know where this is playing out in my life. So I'm hoping that something in here is clicking for you. There's a call towards balance. And that I pulled an Angel Tarot card for deeper meaning on this Sabian this week. And the Justice card came up. This is about finding more balance. The caricature from the symbol shows this is laughably out of balance. Like you almost have to stand back and laugh at, holy crap, you expect a lot out of yourself, or you expect that person is ready to receive all of that service that you're offering, or that cause, or that they want, that maybe they never asked for you to help with that, but you're just pushing to make it happen because you feel like they need it. And it's almost, it's like we can't take ourselves so seriously. I feel like this is pointing you back towards yourself to bring into balance more that flow of noticing, when am I experiencing a resistance in the responses I'm getting, or the lack of responses I'm getting, that then kicks me back into, okay, maybe I need to not push so hard. Okay? So let's get started here. The first card up is from the Soul Coaching deck. And this is Surrender. I haven't seen this card in a while. Interesting. This says on it, all is well. I surrender to my inner guidance. And so this is a woman in a pool of water, and she's got these stars, the cosmos, all around her. This is Pisces land. Pisces is a water sign. So again, the full moon in Virgo, an earth sign, across the way from Pisces, is illuminating where we are pushing for mastery and perfection and detailed service. We're pushing so hard on that this is what you need. It's the time to take your foot off the gas. The full moon illuminates, especially emotionally for you. If you feel like you've lost yourself in the process because you're so emotionally involved in trying to help or trying to perfect in some way something, often for other people, because Virgo does have so much to do with being of service to others. It is a wholehearted kind of an energy, but it's out of whack. And so this woman in the water is the Piscean energy. It is immersing yourself. You almost have to turn a blind eye to what you have been doing where you're feeling resistance from that other that you maybe have been trying to help. And instead you need to immerse yourself in self-care. And I was beginning to get this message late last week. I think it was on Friday. It was a Friday, I think so. Anyway, late last week, because Mars has moved into the sign of Taurus, another earth sign. And it's about you really spending your action arm, which is the Mars energy, in your own stability, your own feeling of beauty, your own feeling of savoring your life. And I'm feeling that again here for you who chose this card. This is immersing yourself in your own emotional needs and trusting the flow. I can't express this strongly enough. The Piscean, the power of the Piscean energy that stands across the way. The sun will be illuminating this while the moon is saying, hey, you're out of whack over here on the getting it done and perfecting, and I'm the one to do this job. I've got to do this job. I've got to be the one. I've got to help them. I've got to help them, that kind of energy. The sun is illuminating this, and the power of Pisces is in remembering to pay attention to the signals you're getting. If you're not getting balanced energy, which this week, this full moon is about, if you're not getting a balanced reaction, it's time to step back and say, whoa, okay, emotionally, why am I doing this? Is this meeting a need for me, or is it totally about the other person? Because those signals are really going to be what you want to tap into. And Pisces is very good at tapping into signals. I'm not afraid to say I am very good at being able to know what somebody's thinking. I can see beneath the surface of people. And that kind of creeps them out sometimes because I know there's something more going on under the surface. I don't take surface views solely. I know when there's something else going on. And so it's being able to tap into that deeper layer of you. This is you in the water. It's you immersing in your own emotional reaction. If you're not getting a balanced, reciprocal energy to everything that you're looking to perfect and to check off the list and to be of service to others, if any or all of those apply, it can be any of those kinds of things, then you have to take a look at you, because that energy is, like I was saying before about the neighbor who's got a broken leg. If there's absolutely no, imagine you show up, you've got a big pot full of chicken soup, and you walk in the door and the neighbor's just like, put it over there. Doesn't say another thing to you, and you just walk out like, well, that sucked. I just spent my whole afternoon cooking this. That sucked. That's imbalance, because you should not feel bad as a result of service towards another. This is where sometimes Virgo, every sign of the zodiac, every sign, can be imbalance at times. It can be in imbalance. And so you have to then say, okay, what is my emotional need that I need to be able to do this service for them? What am I looking to get out of that? And be honest with yourself. Are you getting that? Are you getting even a thread of that? Because those reactions, those emotional needs, the fulfillment will be what you need to tune into to see if it's balanced or not. And if it's not, you need to go towards the Piscean end and to be more tuned into when there is no, your energy that you're expending is kicking back at yourself instead of making forward progress and momentum that lifts all boats float to the top kind of thing. All the corks rise up to the top of the water. It shouldn't be self-deprecating in the process. Okay? Okay. The second card's from the Flower Therapy deck. this card has been coming up so much. I feel like so many of us, I just said this to another dear friend, a different dear friend last night. This is time to decide. We are in the spin cycle. So many of us are in this cycle of like, okay, I need to wake up here because this ain't working. Something is shifting. And believe me, my friends, I feel that in the Piscean month ahead, that if you will but just step back and not feel like you have to grind to make things happen, to have answers, to get the clear guidance. The time of Pisces is a time of being the fish in the water, and simply you find yourself where you are and you pay attention when you're in that space, and you trust, you know that things are always coming through, signs and signals, and it's just trying to be open and aware of what those are. And especially Pisces is a master, the most masterful in the emotional realm. So you need to be paying attention to emotionally. How are you feeling as you find yourself in situations? What kicks up in you? Are you feeling like this feeds your soul, or are you feeling like it totally sucks the life out of it? Are you feeling that joining with another person, a friend, a colleague, whatever, a team, being part of a certain team, are you feeling like that is, again, feeding your soul, or is it sucking it dry? Is there nothing there? Is it like cardboard? Is it like you just walking into cardboard every single day? You know, emotionally, that's where your signals are going to be during the Piscean time over the next month. That's what the sun is going to illuminate. And this time of the full moon at the beginning of Virgo, Mr. Perfectionist, that is Virgo. That is, I want clear answers. I want there to be a list, and I want to check the things off on the list. And I want to get something productive done while I'm doing this. Something that helps me, that helps others, that's part of the team. I want to be, productive. I want this to matter. It's really, something is just way off base in that whole realm of your life. Any part of your life that you resonate, that resonates for, that's what the full moon is illuminating. So time to decide. This is wisteria, which is, it's purple. It has everything to do with Pisces again. It is intuition. It is thoughts and intuitive guidance from the divine, that purple, the crown chakra. Make a decision now so you can move forward. The universe is listening. When you decide in your mind that whatever it may be, that I'm going to pay attention to my own signals around this part of my life, that I'm going to notice what happens as I observe what's going on in this part of my life. What is my emotional reaction in response? With Piscean energy, this is going to kick you back into yourself. Virgo is very outwardly motivated. It just wants to do, check, 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 figures all in order, very organized, very perfectionist. There's just wonderful things about Virgo. But the full moon is pointing out the things about Virgo that are out of balance. Something is way blown up out of proportion, and it needs to come on down because it's not working for you. So this time to decide is you deciding that effort isn't working, because you know it's not working because you're not getting anywhere. It's highly frustrating for you because you're just like running in place. And again, it's not running into a brick wall. I feel like you're running into cardboard. There's some give there, but it is highly unsatisfying. And there's nothing for you to I keep wanting to say like claw into, that for you to engage with, for you to mix with, you know? And so this is, with time to decide, it's you deciding that I need to do some reevaluation inside me. What if I'm noticing my reactions in these different parts of my life, and especially emotionally, pay attention to that. My reactions, then is this feeding me anymore? It's time for me to make a decision. And the thing is, the universe listens. When you make a powerful decision that this doesn't work for me anymore, or I've got to change gears, I've got to divert in a different direction. I need to totally re-engineer and move this over here. There's just a real change in direction, I feel like. But you have to, that first step is you getting awareness within the moment, instead of you keep pushing forward to make something happen. That is a key word there, make it happen. And you're not getting anywhere and you're frustrated. Or maybe you're on the verge of anger. Or maybe you're deep in anger now. The universe does not mean for any of your experience on this planet to be anger-inducing or even frustrating. When those things come up, that is your clear signal, okay, I need to pay attention then to my reactions and to say to myself, this must not fit anymore, or it doesn't fit in this way. So it's a recognition within yourself to reevaluate. And maybe you will decide to move in a different direction altogether. And be open to that, because I feel like the reactions that perhaps you've been getting, you just keep pushing forward anyway, like, nope, this is the way it has to be, and I really can't divert from that. But you can, and that's part of the decision, time to decide. Okay. Now, the last card is from the Animal Medicine deck. And as always, I don't look at the cards ahead of time. So I do have the guidebook here with me from the medicine cards, because I don't know all these by heart. And this is the blue Chiron. And this is number 45. So in numerology, that's the 9 energy. And look at that. I literally opened right to blue Chiron. That's good. Self-reflection is what the blue Chiron is about. Chiron medicine is the power of knowing the self by discovering its gifts and facing its challenges. It is the ability to accept all feelings and opinions without denying any emotion or thought. Chiron flies over those who are unaware of who they are and where they belong in the world. Gently dropping a blue feather to them, Chiron asks that they follow their intuition and begin the empowering journey of self-realization. So, are you willing to dive into the watery depths of your own feelings and discover the role of your spiritual essence? Chiron is now calling to you to delve deeper, to know yourself, and to trust your path. Like the phoenix who rises from its own ashes, Chiron emerges from the unseen worlds of spirit into a new, balanced sense of self in order to embrace its potential again and again. The magnificence of your human spirit lies waiting for the joy of discovery. If you are courageous enough to follow the water bird throughout the journey, Chiron reminds you that every traveler on life's journey is a messenger, and that every destination is the beginning of a new life cycle on the medicine wheel. Now, what I get a sense of is you, my friend, have, and this is true for everybody, but it's really ringing for you with this full moon, there's no wrong choice. If you have been waffling about contemplating something that you keep trying and it's not working out, if you keep I don't know, you notice that you exert the energy, and again, I do feel that sense of it kicking back like a saw wheel, like I'm not saying that right, a saw blade on a big saw table, that all of a sudden it starts kicking back at you, or it kicks the wood back at you, you know. You're well aware of that, I think. And I feel that those are the signs that Spirit is saying to you, how much more do we need to give you for signs and signals before you decide that you want to open to this sense of spiritual flow. And for many of us, I mean, we have very dogged beliefs that from our upbringing, every single one of us. It doesn't have to do with individual moms and dads, family structures. It's all of it. It comes from not only family, but in work situations, and that we have like law enforcement, we have government, we have religion, we have these various governing bodies. And I feel like you're coming to a place where you're starting to question a lot of those beliefs around what's been handed to you about what is giving, what is loving in this life. Because maybe you have given and you have loved to the nth part of who you are. I feel such a sense of gentleness as I'm saying this. You have really given every ounce of blood that you have, like blood, sweat, and tears kind of stuff. And there just isn't enough coming back. And this full moon can be profound in really changing the tide. The blue Chiron comes down and swoops right over your head as if bringing, because the blue is that power of the intuition, and it is the power of the emotional element, the sun in Pisces that stands opposite this full moon in Virgo. It is the power of Pisces, is the very top echelon of the emotional self, really mastery over the emotional self, as well as the highest intuitive guidance and easy flow of that information back and forth like an infinity symbol. You look out at your world, you see what the reaction is, you choose, you make a choice, you bring that action forward, you get the results, and it just keeps going back and forth. You're gathering information all the time. And that is the power of Pisces, is in being able to flow with that and to really tune in emotionally to how you feel. Either you feel alive and you feel, ready to step forward and set the world on fire with your action, your inspired action, or sometimes we're kind of in this hold back energy, like, I got to get out of the fray for a little bit and get myself settled. Where we're never, I think the power of the medicine wheel that was mentioned in what I read for you is that all we can count on is change. We're changing as individuals. The planet itself is revolving. We're going through climate change. We're going through the change of the ages into the age of Aquarius. We're going through physical changes on the planet. And that's affecting every single being on the planet, from an ant up through humans, and beyond. And so we're going through these evolutionary cycles right now, and we always are. We always are. And so I feel like you need to question, and that you already are actually questioning, these very perhaps somewhat staunch beliefs about what it means to help somebody, and what it means to be of service, and what it means to be a good person. Because there can be lots of self-sacrificing that's going on. But sometimes that, if self-sacrificing goes on long enough, you totally deplete yourself. And this is the Chiron and Aries energy that I'm picking up on here. That's when it's the wounded healer. It is oh, I have what it takes to help you in your life and to be a healer for you in some essence. But then it's like you're constantly giving out with nothing coming back. And I just feel like you're recognizing that, and you're wanting to integrate this at a deeper level. There's something deeply spiritual about this full moon for you. In just really, I invite you, question those very solid beliefs and perfectionist tendencies and wanting to uphold the details of what it means to be a loving person, a giving person. What do you think of when you think of the term selfish? And I ask you, like, okay, you're in a plane, or the plane is coming down, and they instruct you to put the mask on yourself first and then to help other people. If there's a drop in pressure in the cabin and you choose to put it on somebody else, in fact, all the people around you, and in the end, you perish because you haven't helped yourself. There's nobody else that is going to do that. You have to watch your shop, as I like to say. And I'm not saying, I think you get this. And you're just maybe at your wit's end in some way that you don't even yet consciously realize that I've come to the end of the rope on this. I just really, I can't do this, but I feel like the blue Chiron is giving you that next oomph, that next bit of power to say, yeah, I need to go by my own belief on this, that this isn't working. And by that, I'm going to be breaking an age-old definition, a meaning of what it means to be nice, what it means to be helpful, of service, not selfish. And I'm fully in favor of helping others, believe me, I am. But not at the cost of yourself. Because again, nobody's looking out for that and can look out for that other than you. We're talking about you taking care of your internal emotional needs here. So it feels like a changing of a tide for you in the best of ways. Like, I feel like I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. I feel like this is just this, it's like I'm giving you a magical feather from the blue Chiron right here, and just saying, yeah, please do listen to your intuition on this. You're right on track, and there's no wrong choice. As long as you listen internally, when things don't feel right, follow that. Please follow that. Okay, everybody, there you go. And if you'd like to delve into this full moon for yourself, just be in touch with me and we can set up a reading for you, a paid reading for you. Or if you'd like a card reading or astrology, or one of my one-on-one sessions, you can visit bluesky-shop, SHOPPE.com. Thanks so much, everybody, and make the most of this beautiful full moon in Virgo. Bye-bye for now.